Fred, you can tell me when you're ready for me to start? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you're watching us from. My name is Rosemary Onyancha, and I'm going to present cyber security. And you're most welcome. And I want to believe that this is going to help you in being safe when you're navigating the online platform. So mine is cyber security. And we are going to go straight to the privacy. Allow me to share my screen. So our topic for today is cybersecurity, and your presenter is Rosemary Onyancha. So we are going to move straight to privacy. What is privacy? You need to ask yourself that, because when you're navigating the online landscape, you have to be very keen on your privacy. So privacy refers to how one chooses to handle what information he or she wants seen by people online. So what does that mean? Whenever you are going online, going to share every information for everyone to see? No, there's some information that you may not need to share. So there are some things that are not necessarily secret that we may want to keep private. For instance, one of the things that is not necessarily secret but you may want to keep private is your birth date. You will not want everyone to know when you were born. So that you may make private, because you realize when someone knows when you were born, that can be a privacy, can be a security breach. Another thing is the email address, the phone address. Those are things that you may not want everyone to see. So ensure that you know what to share online, and so that you keep your privacy in check. Then there are some things that you may want to keep from your parent, your spouse, and so many other people, those people you are close to. For instance, one of the things that you want to keep to yourself is your Instagram account. Just like the diaries that you write about what you're feeling at the moment, that should be kept private. Then there are some things that you may want to keep private from your educators, your pastors, and so on and so forth. That regards the privacy issue. So I have an activity there that I would want you to do whenever you are free. I want you to go online and search for your name. And as you are searching for your name, I would want you to take note of this. What are the first few results? Are you comfortable with the results you see? So the suggestions is what information is being suggested about you. Is the information giving correct information about yourself, or it is giving erroneous information about yourself? Then the impact. What impression will someone who doesn't know you have when he or she accesses your information? How many people should see your information? Those are some of the things that I would want you to answer as you search for your name online. And what I need you to know is that whatever information you share online can be accessed by many, many people. People search about you on the internet. And these people could be your future employers. If you're a student, then someone can just search before they give you admission into their institution. They may want to know what kind of a person they're dealing with. So as you're doing the searches yourself, ensure that you are able to see what you want to see, and that constitutes privacy. Then as you're sharing online, you need to ask yourself, who are your audience and what are your values? You have seen people sharing online, and whenever you're sharing online, you need to ask yourself, if you're a content creator, who do you want to access this information? And what are the values that you're passing? There are those ones who send nude pictures. There are those ones who send information dealing with the medicine. Some people share information about cookery and all that. So you should be able to know who your audience are and what are your values, because you may send information which may degrade you online. So information that you share will spread even beyond the people you intended to receive that particular information. So whenever you're sharing that information, ensure that the information you are sharing is what you want people to see. And then we also have people can search for information about you, either good or bad. And that is why we are talking about your privacy. If someone can be able to get into your account and manipulate the information that is going to be accessible to people, then that will breach your privacy. And it means that people are going to see either bad things that are being posted about you, because I'm sure there is no one who wants something bad to be posted about him or her. We all want to have good reports about whatever is being shared online. So when you're going to settings, what are your settings? Are they private or public? We all have different social media that we are using. So you need to be aware about the settings that are there. Are they private or are they public? And when should information be private, or when should be information be public. There are some instances when you want to sell your products online. That means that you may want your account to be public, such that whoever is going to access that information is going to know what products you are selling. And then you're also going to increase your clientele. Sometimes you may host private accounts, and these private accounts are just for you and the very few people you would want to access your account. So a question may come: are you comfortable sharing information with social media and companies advertising? There are some instances where we have the third party accessing your data, and they can use it in order to customize whatever they are sending to you. So are you comfortable? You need to ask yourself if you're comfortable sharing your information to the social media and even the advertising company. Sometimes when you're registering to use a particular platform, they ask for information, and that includes your email address, the date of birth, your name, the first name and the second name. So are you going to be comfortable sharing that particular information? All these things are going to work towards your privacy. And we cannot separate privacy with cyber security. And because if someone gets your information, the information about you, they can easily get into your accounts and manipulate them, either it's usually for bad, not always for good. So passwords. We also have passwords that we need to safeguard in order for us to be secure online or even have our privacy. It should be strong. When you're talking about passwords, the passwords that we set for our different accounts should be strong. That means they should have a combination of special symbols, numbers, letters. They should be in uppercase or lowercase, and a minimum of 7 characters. Or we can also have a combination of 4 or more and related words making the password, and that constitutes a strong password. And sometimes people may forget the passwords. We can employ the use of password managers that save the passwords in our Google, so that you don't again try to make your password vulnerable, because some people say they want to share their passwords because they can easily forget the password. So ensure that you employ the use of password manager, so that you are not going to fall prey into the privacy issues. Then we also have social hacking or social engineering. So you need to understand what hacking is. Hacking refers to gaining unauthorized access to data in a system or computer by breaking codes or passwords. So it is very easy for someone to break codes or passwords and gain access to your computer system and start manipulating that particular system. If someone knows enough information about you, they might be able to guess the password. For instance, I want to give an example of logging into your email. Someone knows your email, then clicks on forgot password. So what happens? If they have information about you, some of the email clients, they will ask, what is your favorite pet? And probably that is the pet you have put as your picture in the profile. So they will be able to guess that, and they will have access to your email, and they will even change your password, and you may lose access of your email. So how do you reduce the social engineering? We have a remedy that most of the applications are using. That is the multi-factor or the two-factor authentication. So some websites use a system called a multi-factor or two-factor authentication to verify your identity. These websites often use text messaging, an app, or email to send a one-time code that must be entered alongside the password. This method can make your account much safer by adding an extra layer of security that is far more difficult to break. For instance, to log into your account, the person must have your password to access the application, device, email address associated with the account. Then we move quickly to phishing. What is phishing? You can see someone trying to phish some information from a computer system to his computer system. So phishing is a type of scam that tricks people into sharing their login or personal information. Phishing can come in the form of email, text messages, phone calls, and social media posts, to name a few. The messages or emails might look like they are from real company and that you know or trust, like banks, online store, social networking sites, parcel delivery firms, or government departments. Phishing perpetrated by text is commonly known as smishing, and that one by calls is known as phishing. So, phishing messages might use the following strategies to entice people to click on a link, open an attachment, or share login or personal information. They will ask for confirmation of your personal information, such as bank account login details, date of birth, or social security number. They may claim that there is a problem with your account or payment information. Then they may come in this form, include a fake bill or invoice, or a link to make or view a payment. There's going to also be an offer or in form of a coupon for free stuff that seem too good to be true. Then you also have send a notice about suspicious activity or login attempts for one of your accounts. They will tell you that you're eligible for payment or refund. So they may tell you to click on a particular link. Then we have a note there. Catfishing is when a scammer creates a fake account or identity to trick people into believing that you are talking to a real person. All these come in form of phishing. Some of the signs that a message might be a phishing scam. Any of the previous signs in combination with a sense of urgency. Anyone asking you to pay a fee in order to apply for a job or to get a resume check. I fell into this trap when I was applying for a job with the IBC, and I was actually told to pay 300 shillings so that my application can be checked. I did not know that, I did not have this information, but now I know. I want to believe you're also going to share the same information to others. Messages or posts with poor spelling and grammatical mistakes. People asking you for money who you don't know in person. People asking you to move your conversation off Facebook or any other platform to a less public or less secure setting, such as a separate email. People asking you to send them money or gift cards to receive a loan, prize, or other winnings. Then people claiming to be a friend or relative in an emergency. I want to believe this is what people are falling into these days. People or accounts directing you to a separate website to claim a prize. People who misinterpret, misrepresent where they are located. If someone signs up for a social media platform using their mobile phones, you may be able to check the country the phone number is from. So I am going to invite questions through the chats. And with that, I want to stop my presentation there. Until next time, thank you so much. Over to you, Fred.
So thank you so much, Rosemary, for that awesome presentation. It has really been inspiring, talking about privacy, and those are the things we are working on. I know most of our viewers and the one who are Kenyans who are watching, we know the issue of privacy is paramount, and as you have said, it goes hand in hand with the cybersecurity. And those tips you have given them, I think I don't think if I can say anything, that is a perfect, awesome. And I hope that if there's any questions from there, there's on the chat below, they let us know. So thank you so much for that. So our next presenter should be Shannon Jera, and I hope if she's ready, she can come on stage. Sharon. Sharon, can you hear me?
Me?
Yes, Shannon, you're welcome to present.
Okay, thanks a lot. So, just a minute. Let me just do final setup. Okay, so okay, so I think you can now see my screen.
Yeah, we can see you. If you have a presentation, maybe you can put in the box though, or maybe you can just read. There's no problem. It's your wish. If you want, we can. You can
Yes,
click the presentation. Present.
Yes,
Okay.
you can see my
You can click
presentation.
the present. If you add it, then I can have it on the board. But it's okay. You can also just do the slides. If you can see them, no problem. You can present. If you click present,
Yeah.
present, and then.
Yes, I'm presenting at the moment. You're able to see them?
Okay, we are not able to see the slide, but it's okay. Go on. There's no problem. It's not a must that you have to see the slide. Just continue on and say what you wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see them. I've added them. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you can see them.
Now you can. Yeah. Yeah, you can press a 5 to off. Yeah, it's okay now.
It's okay now. Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You can continue.
All right, thank you so much, Fred. So thank you everyone for joining us on this call, and I'm happy to be taking you through the impact of generative AI on cybersecurity, and we'll be focusing more on the benefits and also on the risks and how we can be able to mitigate them. So my name is Shannon Mujera. I'm an engineer by profession, and I'm really excited just to take you through on the current trends that are happening in terms of generative AI. And I'm sure most of us are aware of what have heard of at least ChatGPT, which was quite, it made quite a lot of waves around the globe because of its nature to generate different types of content using AI. So it's a space of it's a space of machine learning actually. So if you're a bit new and maybe don't understand what AI is, maybe I can just give you a very simple explanation on AI is really just trying to make machines more intelligent in terms of them learning through previous data and then able to make their own decisions. So basically that is what AI in simple terms is trying to make machines more intelligent to mimic human behavior and for them to be able to make choices on their own based on previous data. So, for giving an example of ChatGPT, which is a generative AI, so ChatGPT basically it helps in generating different texts. So you can just go maybe online, type ChatGPT. So it's a company known as OpenAI, and you'll be able to create an account. After signing in, you can be able now maybe to ask it different questions like maybe can you help me draft a letter, or upgrade my CV, and it will be able to generate for you based on the different data sets it has been able to read through over that the model has been fed over quite a period of time. And many people have given their concerns on maybe some of the potential risks that such kind of technology can have. So maybe just to continue on that. um, so, and I think even just generally speaking, in terms of cybersecurity, you'd see like the most. So cybersecurity basically just means how to protect your digital information. So anything within the digital space. So you can have cyber crimes and cyber criminals as well, who usually perform different attacks on systems, on anything, the digital infrastructure, for them to be able to get your data. Just as the previous presenters spoke about, there are different types of attacks, from phishing, and there can be those more complex in terms of DDoS, which is distributed attacks, where so many different machines, different clients are able to send out messages and overwhelm the server, and then now the server ends up having a downtime, and someone is not able to access their information. And I think so many, yeah, over the recent past, you've had different companies have been able to succumb to such threats, and then having their systems down, and maybe losing a lot of data. Then the cyber criminals asking for maybe some form of ransom in the form of cryptocurrencies and the like. Yeah, so you can see like cybersecurity is something very important, and yeah, it has a lot of consequences, not only to businesses, communities, and also to individuals, but also like it's something that needs to be paid attention to, with the rising, with each different technology. We need to keep, because each technology, especially AI, presents new potential threats and new potential areas of attack for criminals to be able to get into and be able to devise more and more attacks. Yeah, which is bad for data privacy as well, and keeping our information safe. So when you're coming to talk about generative AI, so basically um so right now, like because it started with it was there previously, but now with more, like with the chat GPT now, for instance, it's more open to everyone, so anyone can be able to access it. And it makes it, it has helped in terms of productivity. Many people are able to do their things faster. They're able to write better reports or emails and the like. However, so with this access to, like, because it uses so many so many parameters to be able to generate like its content, and its content is unique, and you can easily think that it has been generated by a human being. So it's very hard for you to be able to gauge what is generated by AI and what has been generated by a human being. Because for AI, it learns from previous data, and the previous data has been input by human beings. It just learns human content, and then it's able to generate its own content based off that. So using different parameters, the model is able to learn and generate new content. So what that means, so I think we spoke about phishing, for example, phishing and social engineering. So giving an example of uh, like if for example, you get a phone from someone asking you, maybe pretending to be your boss, so they can be able to use generative AI tools. So cyber criminals can be able to use generative AI tools to be able um, to be able to write a very convincing email, and for you, you'll be able to think that it's maybe your boss who's provided a new way to do something, and then when you go ahead, you end up seeing maybe you've approved finances to go to a wrong person, and it was all a scam. So those are some of the phishing scams and some of the threats that come with generative AI. But before we delve deeper into the threats, I'd like us to first touch on the positive impacts of generative AI in context to cybersecurity. So I think now, in terms of advanced threat detection, so remember now, for AI can be able to analyze a wide range of anomalies and patterns, and be able to give you, better methods and strategies for you to be able to stay ahead of the curve in terms of the dangers and the threats that can come to your system or your data or just your general IT infrastructure. So with AI, so the things like if you implement AI in cybersecurity, so you're able to do scanning, automatic scanning. So you're able to automatically scan the environment to be able to see any vulnerabilities that might be in your system or different attack loops that maybe a human would miss. So AI would be more thorough in terms of ensuring that every vulnerability is scanned and give you proper recommendations on or different patches for you to be able to combat that threat before like a cyber criminal can be able to um, can be able to maybe detect some kind of anomaly or some kind of vulnerability and use it for attacks. Yeah. So the same case, so the detection and also the defense. So once even the AI is able to detect any vulnerability, it can also give the measures. It can also automatically actually just give the measures. So for example, if it's for example an issue with your network, so there are automatic network scanners. It can be able to maybe uh, prevent it by maybe adding a firewall or some patches, some security patches to the system, and you're able to prevent an attack before any cyber criminal can be able to scan and find the vulnerability. And then, so there's also another aspect known as predictive analysis. So predictive analysis uses an aspect of machine learning, of AI known as machine learning. So for predictive analysis, so it's able to, based on previous data that has been like previous attacks, so it's able to spot a trend on how different attackers have been attacking different systems, and then it's able to give like predict on maybe the next on how maybe the thinking pattern or the anomalies that are able to present themselves in the future. So in that case, you'll be able to accurately be able to know what kind of areas you need to be able to protect in terms of threats, and then also how you can best remediate them before the attacks actually happen. Yes. So so there are quite a number of tools in terms of once AI is put into the different tools, be it like scanning scanners or firewalls or security patches that are able to automatically detect vulnerabilities in the systems, and also just do automatic remediation. So that it helps in the whole cybersecurity aspect of it, because now with the generative AI, you're able to now detect faster and also to remediate before maybe cyber criminals are able to come and penetrate into your system and steal your data or attack your entire infrastructural system, IT infrastructure system rather. Then moving on to the negative effects. So yeah, so I think I had already mentioned. So because now for generative AI, and because it's open for anyone can actually be able to access the technology, and they can use it for malicious reasons. So other than how it is being used currently to enhance productivity, marketing efforts, and the like. So people can also decide to use it for other malicious purposes. And there are now AI powered attacks where like I had mentioned earlier, they're able to make phishing emails and deep fakes. So you hear a lot of like if you're active online, you'll see there are quite a number of deep fake videos of popular celebrities and society icons. So and then the videos, they make and look and sound the same as actually the person, and they are able to mimic like almost a one-to-one match of what the person would actually say, how they would say it, and the person didn't actually say it, but the deepfake makes it actually look like the person actually said it. So it makes it very hard for you to differentiate between what is real and what is fake. Yeah. So you're not able to tell accurately that this is the person, and then like this is the actual person, and this is actually a deepfake. So there becomes a very thin line on knowing what is real and what is fake. So that is one of the uh, the big dangers of actually using generative AI. You're not able to differentiate between what is true and what is not. Yeah, and of course, like the example of phishing emails and like phishing. So someone can be able to send you a very convincing message, so you might think it's maybe your friend, family, relative, colleague, or your employer. Then your you're deceived to send maybe some money or some very sensitive information. So you might think you're sending it to the right person, but then you're sending it to the wrong person, like to the criminal, and he's able to use that information and like use it as a vulnerability and attack your system, maybe get your data and stuff, something of the sort as well. So it becomes very very hard to so yeah, the more they use AI, it becomes very hard for you to differentiate what is real and what is fake, because it gives a similarity, it has a sense of similarity with what is actually true. So it becomes harder and harder for you to be able to protect yourself from such threats. um, and then the other thing is automated attacks using bots. So with generative AI, you can also be able to come up with your own bots. So for cyber criminals, they can just be able to maybe like it can be as simple as just asking the generative AI to maybe get you code and on how to build a bot or by yourself, and you start infecting it if it's in a private network, and then all the machines get infected, and and you're able to maybe perform different attacks and bring down a certain type of network, or you're just able to just create different bots. uh, Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so you're able to create different bots, and yeah, so the bots yeah, they do automatic scans of networks or of your infrastructure, and then they're able to scan for vulnerabilities and perform automatic attacks. Yeah, so that is also another negative effect of generative AI. Then I think the last item is in terms of data privacy concerns. So, um, I mean, with these tools, you're able to do automatic scanning and find vulnerabilities of networks. So once you find the vulnerabilities of networks, you're also able to do automatic attacks. Yeah. So I think it's more or less like the vice versa of also the benefits, because you can also be able to detect and prevent the attacks using, if used properly, if generative AI is used properly. But then you can also, on the other end, you can also be able to scan for vulnerabilities and also perform the attacks if you for business purposes, right? So this creates a lot of data and privacy concerns, because if it falls in the wrong hands, you can see it can cause a lot of havoc and threat to someone's privacies and data. So there's a lot of risk involved as well. So, yeah, how best can we be able to prevent such? So because the technology keeps changing, and you can see, if you keep up with the trends, you'll see that now for generative AI, more and more data parameters are being added, meaning that the technology is becoming more complex, and the more complex it becomes, so the more organizations, individuals need to stay informed on the latest developments and practices. So beside the they need to be right. For example, for the emails that you get, for you to be sure like it's not a spam or it's not a deep fake, you need to verify information, and also just use the different AI powered tools as well to counter check, to make sure, because there's a way you can be able to like, for example, for a deep fake, you can be able to, like, if you want to prevent your entire system, you using AI, for example, AI powered tools, you can also be able to generate like fake data. Yeah, you can generate fake data, so that even if someone uses AI as well, like the AI bots, to come and try to attack your system, they're only able to get fake data. So you have to stay ahead of the curve, because you'll need to now think about the different kind of threats that will arise from AI and provide counteractive mechanisms for you to be able to keep your data safe and secure. Yeah. So being always ahead of the curve, knowing what is happening within the industry and the different types of attacks and how cyber criminals have advanced in form of how they do their attacks will help you be able to come up with the best strategy to protect not only your organization but also personally you as your personally family friends as well. Yeah. So, and then the other thing also is implementing multi-layered security strategy behind all AI powered devices defenses as well. So having multiple layers of security, like right from from the network physical security, from your capital, human resource. So having just ensuring that you get training on the different layers of security and how these AI powered tools and how they can be able to help is going to be very critical, because now the attacks are becoming more and more complex. So you need to keep up to date with the latest, and the more layers of security that you put up from your device to your software to firewalls to personally educating yourself on the best practices of your changing your password and just ensuring things are not you don't just share out information to anybody, just verifying emails, links, and stuff of the sort, so that will help you make sure that you always keep your information safe and secure from attackers. Yes, so thank you. So unless there's any other question from the chat, I think that is all from me. Yes, so over to you, Fred.
All right. Hello. Yeah. Thank you so much. And actually, it was beginning very creative insight. That's what I've said. That is so awesome. I don't know. It's just given me. I don't know what I present, because what you have done is just like wrapped everything. I just have passed by. So I'm so happy. That is so nice. I don't say so much. I'm not seeing anything on the chat, but I know we can do it later, because these are live stream will be shared and work. But that is so fantastic of you. But I hope that you stay around before we welcome another presenter for Claris. And then after that, when we do everything, and then I think is when we leave. So hopefully you can hang around as we wait for Claris to give a presentation. Thank you so much for the presentation. Claris, welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred, for that opportunity. I think much has been tackled, and maybe I will take maybe 5 minutes only to talk about online safety. So, being that we know that we are in the Cyber Week, Cyber Month, sorry, it is very important for us to what I will really concentrate on is when we are navigating the digital space, and especially when we are using the social platforms, we should just find a way in which we are trying to tighten our security. So when we tighten our security or privacy, just as we know, when I talk of privacy, I may just find information that you as your personal details that you will not want to be known by several people, what privacy is. And that is what you are going to find, that even when we are dealing with when you're on those social platforms, we should be able to tighten our privacy. And the major one that we normally use, the simplest one, is the use of password. And when we use this password, it helps. It's your only one. You are supposed to be able to know it. And there's always a say that says that When you're setting your password, it should be easy to remember, but difficult to guess. Why am I saying that it should be easy to remember and difficult to guess? I'm saying this because this is whereby you will find that if you use some information such as your ID number, maybe your service number, maybe your name, that one, when somebody really wants to get into it, that is when the person will automatically be able to know to get into your password. So those are some of the things that you're supposed to be doing. So we normally even say, apart from that, when you're creating your password, or actually don't just use one, maybe capital letters. But for this case, as computer people, I'll say don't just use one case. Always apply the two cases. And the two cases that I'm trying to say that normally that you always apply, I'm trying to say the case that you're supposed to be applying. You can use the small letter, which we refer to as lowercase, or you use the upper letter. So when you combine the small letter, lowercase, letter for someone to be able to guess your password. And maybe you can even use some trick. Like if my name, I want to use my name Clarice as a password, I will use some trick whereby instead of using where there is E, I write 3. So that one becomes very difficult for somebody to be able. You can just say I was born in 1920. So you start taking the first 2 letters of that particular phrase. So that one make you, when you use the memorial phrases, by taking the first 2 letters, you really realize that it will tighten your security. And apart from that, we see people are very smart nowadays. We can also be able to use what we normally term as 2-factor authentication. 2-factor authentication is that you link your account, maybe with your mobile phone, in such a way that anytime somebody tries to log in, you get a confirmation text. So this confirmation text, if it is not you, automatically that particular person will not be able to confirm that that is their account. And that one makes people very, very easy not to be able to hack into your account. And also there's something that I just want to, as I'm winding up, I will also learn to talk about phishing. When we talk about phishing, this is whereby people come with lucrative messages. And when they come with these particular lucrative messages, like you have won this, do this, and then by the time you are realizing that you have been cornered, you have already given your personal details. So the best way that we will be able to advise you on this particular week, this particular month, is that try as much as possible not to be the customers or the client of the phishers. And how are we going to try to do this? By giving you some few tips on it. When you see you are in a particular platform, maybe you are even in an Instagram, and there's somebody sending you a link, and this person is trying to tell you, click this particular link, and it's taking you to another site. Those are some of the red flags that you're supposed to be able to know that this particular site is not safe. Another one is when somebody asks you for your personal details. Yeah, when somebody asks you for your personal detail, or when somebody asks you about your personal information, you should also see some red flags there, that this person wants to get into my account and be able to hack it. So that is something that is very, very important. And just as I wind up, I will also want that to say this, that now the schools have closed, and we know our teenagers interact with the social platform. We are saying internet is with us here, and there's no way we can run away from it. So the best way is we try as much as possible to help the teenagers navigate this digital space by trying to be their mentor, by also trying to monitor. Because remember, we can even monitor their screen time. by just connecting their devices with our devices. So these particular sites that our children will be able to be getting into, we are able to know that. Apart from that, we should try to be their friends so that they will be able to tell us when they interact with strange people on the digital space. So that is something that I just wanted to crown it up on how to be safe when we are navigating the digital space. Thank you very much, Fred. Back to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Clarice.
Thank you so much, Clarice. I love.
Hello, Fred. There's some background echo.
Yeah. I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where it's coming from.
Is it okay now?
Is it okay now?
Yeah, now you're okay. Hello, Fred.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Yeah.
There's an echo. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay, hopefully now. Yeah, thank you so much, Clarice, for that nice presentation. Actually, it was a wrap up, and I think now this is so nice. What you have given us just in how do you say 5 minutes or 6 minutes time. You've covered everything from privacy, security, how you have to secure a password, how to avoid phishing scams, and also you gave a nice tip on how the kids, how it's supposed to during school holidays, during this time, how the runners going to operate on that digital space. So I think that is a nice wrap up, and I'm so happy about that. So I hope that you hang on. I think you have done everything. Sharon did everything on cyber. For me, is a wrap up. I don't know, because I don't know. I'd take all that time to make a presentation on a slide. But what I shall do is just I will do a wrap up on what I have, because actually I will not even take 10 minutes, because everything has been done and has been said. So and I think we will share the slides on the resources on the comment section, on our comment section on the YouTube. So allow me now to present on just a simplification, just an add-on, because I've said Rosemary, Shannon, and Karis have done the most of the bulk of the work. So I don't want to reinvent again the wheel. So I will try and work on and just have some few presentations, a wrap up on what we are today. Just around a few minutes time. Yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully now I can do the presentation, and what I'm going to do is just a wrap up on what we have, because as I've said earlier, our presenters have done the wonderful, tremendous job. So I'll just have, as you can see, that's our logo for Robotics Society, and as you are aware, this is the month for us for cybersecurity. Of course, this is a global event, but most organizations and companies, even governments, they tend to work on this on this cybersecurity month. And so, as we took it the last day, but we hopefully we'll do one or two. Just a wrap up. That was our poster on what we are supposed to present, and hopefully, so our topic today was cybersecurity and in the emergence of generative AI. And as a matter of fact, Shannon has done a wonderful job. So I don't have to repeat what she has said. So I'll just pass the slides on, and because we will share it, so because of time, of course, she has talked about OpenAI, and a good example is ChatGPT, and that's the company from OpenAI. That's the company, and of course, there are a lot of variants of ChatGPT. Now we have 4, which is even multimodal, which can accept, because this one was accepting only text, and its information was up to 2021. But now we have ChatGPT 4, which is up to date, can connect with the internet, and also it's multimodal, which means you can even draw a photo. It's even accepting sound. So we have more advanced features of ChatGPT. And of course, our agenda, I don't have to go very much. There's a definition of the generative AI, applications, cybersecurity challenges, AI in cybersecurity, attacks, defense mechanisms. We had case study 1, 2, we had the regulatory framework, ethical considerations, best practices, future trends, recommendation, and conclusion. Shannon actually tackled everything on this, so we just have to pass by and see. Of course, this is the icon for cybersecurity, and introduction. So maybe you could ask yourself, what is cybersecurity? That's something which I think is very important for us. We've been talking about cybersecurity. Some of us would ask, what is cybersecurity? So cybersecurity is a practice of protecting systems, networks, and data from digital attacks. So when cybersecurity comes to you, it should be both hardware and software. It's not only supposed to be something. That's why they're talking about system. And a good example is a computer system. You know what a network is. If you say like WhatsApp, for example, it's what most Kenyans use. Google search, that's a network. And data. And we don't go to the basic definition that what's the data like in the computer terms, or that is unprocessed data. But the most important is your name, your telephone number, your email address, your bank account, your street, where you live. That's the data. So digital attacks, if they come under digital attack, and because we want to talk about cybersecurity and generative AI and is aiding cyber attacks. So, and another thing which is very paramount for us is to know who can attack. So remember what happened in Kenya this year. Remember the assistant portal was almost brought down by TDS. That's denial of service. So when you're attacking, when they do the attacks in cybersecurity, it's not necessarily means that it's an individual. So you can have an individual, you can have a group. People call themselves Sudan, anonymous groups. They are activists on working on this. So on the issue of cybersecurity, it's not only an individual can attack. You can have a cyber attack from even a group, from anywhere, by using what we call various attack strategies. Of course, you have people talking about attacks. So the people who carry these attacks are called hackers. But we don't want to condemn that when you hear the name hackers, you condemn, because you have types of hackers. We have white hackers, we have black hackers, and gray hackers. So white hackers, they do in a good, they test the system for vulnerabilities. So that one, they're okay. Black hackers are the one which we fear. So when we hear the term hackers, it's not be taken it is the bad guys in IT or in computing world. So those are basic things which you have to know on cybersecurity. And then of course, this bad AI, that's another generative AI. So I know this is much better because most of Kenyans are using Google, and they're using Android. So bad is able to connect. It's not limited. It's able to connect up to, if it cannot find information, it can just take you to the internet. That is one of the best things which it has. So we are talking about generative AI and cybersecurity. So allow me to define what do you understand by generative AI. I don't want to go in deep, but generative AI is known as what? We have types of AI, because what we're finding is that people are talking about AI, and AI is a big thing. We say that we usually say people that it mimics. It mimics how human, actually not a human, how the human brain works, but how it's types of AI that it has to do, like takes a human knowledge. But we have types of AI. We have narrow AI or weak AI. We have strong AI. With the one, like when we work with the AI, which is in the Google, for example, Google Map or Google, okay, like maybe Google Assistant. Okay, they said like the latest definition is they are connecting Google Assistant with Generative AI. So Generative AI, as Shannon talked about, this one has the ability to create new content such as text, images from the previous data. But remember, what Generative AI is doing is just an upgrade of a subset of AI called machine learning. I think Shannon talked about that one. We have two types of AI, that is machine learning and and deep learning. So machine learning is, the way she said, is data. You use you train a system from with a data set, from a data set, and then it's able to run because it's being trained by a humans amount of data which a human brain cannot hold. So it's able to run from that. And then the deep learning, which of course is where most of the generative AI is coming, is deep learning is a network, which is also called neural networks. It mimics how the human brain thinks. So, from a biological perspective, how the human brain thinks using neurons. So the generative AI, they're using that. But now, when Google brought the GTP transformer, that is where all things are coming from. The paper, the research paper they did in 2017 paper. So this generative transformer is where everything's coming in. And now we want to see the connection between generative AI and cybersecurity. I think that was an example of this one. So the generative AI is so high, it's used in many ways. So you don't have to say that it's only used in text. You can train generative AI to use even art. You can draw. You can use it to draw. You can create for music. There are many ways you can do it. Video. So generative AI is not only that it's being used for the way we are putting in there, that it's being used only for text. Like, because most people came understood that ChatGTP was for text. So this one you can use it also for art, for music, and other things. So these are examples of generative AI in use today. Now, the question is, and I think our presenter Shannon did a good thing on this, so I don't want to go deep on this one. You have even heard about people talking about phishing, anomaly detection, and that one. So what is applications of generative AI in cybersecurity? On offensive and defensive capabilities. Why? We are saying that generative AI is two-edged sword. If you are approaching generative AI in matters of cybersecurity, it's good. It can work on your positive side, and also it can work on the negative side. Shannon articulated so well on that. So one of this one, if you look at the key applications, there's something called malware. And I think everybody knows what's a malware. A good example of malware is what? Is a virus. So virus is a good example of a malware. We have worms and Trojan, but a good example which everybody knows is a virus. So it's code. So if you can code, you can create a malicious program. So that's malicious comes from now malicious software. Malicious software. Then we have what we call malware. So it's possible for you to create and create something which is of course Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I think this kind of hiccups from the machine. So it's okay now. From the Friday team. Faris can mute. Faris. Faris, maybe you can mute your mic. Yes, thank you. Yeah. I was on slide 18. Thank you. I'm sorry for those slight technical challenges. They're almost done. So I've said this higher power techniques makes the text more efficient, scalable, and difficult to detect and challenging. So we have defense mechanism on what you can do. That is natural processing. We have behavioral machine learning. I don't know, want to go very deep in that. And then we have also an what this defense mechanism can provide organizations with the ability to proactively protect their digital assets and data, staying one step ahead of cyber threats and vulnerabilities. And case study, giving a case study of Google. So Google has what we call SecPalm. This is an example of generative AI being used in cybersecurity. So as you can see, that is the name they're using it. So Google is, I use this example, what they're using. So some of the tools they're using in Google, they're using this this tool, and it's emanating from Google. It's called SecPalm, and as you can see, it's a large language model. So sometimes this generative AI, they generate from what we call large language model. It's called LLM. So, and it has been trained on a massive data set. You know, Google is able, because of the billions of people who are searching on the Google search, so it's able to get that data set of text and code. So, and this is a good example of a case study of using generative AI. So I used Google, and Google Crowd is an example. So use Google Crowd, and I think everyone knows what Google Crowd is. Then you're also using Google Security, and then Google Visual Total, and another example is Microsoft. So I think everybody has heard about what we call a Copilot. You hear people talking about that in future we are going to have a 365 Copilot. Most people in the world use word processor. So in future, if you want to create, for example, compose a text or an email, you don't need to give or you don't not have to suffer. That you have to know to be creative. What you only simply do is just to give a prompt. So the Copilot is powering Microsoft tools. Let's say Office 365. If you want to create an email, you just tell it, oh, we're this office, you want to create a certain memo, so it can help you. So in future, people want to work in a word processor. The story of the idea of being the idea of being that office work, the kind of the normal work, it will be so easy for us. So the Microsoft is using Copilot. So when we are people talking about Copilot, that is a form of what? Generative AI. And of course, as you are aware, Microsoft is working hand in hand with OpenAI. So some of the, and it's actually owns 49% of OpenAI shares. So this is the API is from OpenAI, that is ChatGPT. So in future, don't be surprised that you find from almost Microsoft products and tools like of 365 teams. All of them have this Copilot, and so they are given examples, and I don't need to go very much deeper because you have given examples here. So detail. Go to the next slide. So that we wrap up on this one. It's changing because of the speed of the net. Yeah, we have ethical considerations, misinformation, privacy. Okay, that is too fast. We talked about ethical consideration. We have to talk about ethical considerations on misinformation, privacy, discrimination, accountability. Those are the kind of the things which are working on. We also need a regulated framework that we said so on the issue of biasness. So one of the challenges of generative AI is biasness, privacy and security, I think. Then the safety and reliability and accountability. So those are, we need a regulated framework. As you are aware, like what we have done as the Robotics Society of Kenya in the issue of regulated framework, we introduced a bill in the Kenyan Senate on Kenya Robotics and Artificial Intelligence, Bill 2023. Is brought the bill, the draft bill proposal is brought on the Senate and is on the National Assembly, and we are open for to support AI Act in Kenya. So this is one of the contributions we have done as a society to work on this, because as much you'll be working on generative AI, you expect to get this kind of challenges, the biasness, privacy, and security, because of the data we use for training, and also we need as much you need self-regression. All the partners or actors working in AI and robotics in Kenya, we would want something like a regulated framework, and that's why we also talked about ethical considerations, and one of them we know we talk about fake news, misinformation, disinformation, and I think that one can be covered in another type. But it's possible that I talked about discrimination, that our data is used in training data algorithm, machine running algorithms is biased to the white men because most of them they are the programmer on the other side. So we need accountability on the other issue. So as much we talk about generative AI, that is this. Then the best practices on what we should do, educate employers about the risk of generative AI. As a Robotics Society, that's what we're doing. We're having training like this. The month of December, we'll be having a teacher training, an empowering training. 12 teachers know what is generative AI. So we need to educate the employers, and this should be even not only teachers, even employers. You should have a seminar how to teach, because as you are working on ChatGPT, if you give it personal information, even bad, it will take. So, for example, if you are giving that a chatbot your information, we said those the privacy, your private your number, your account number, for example, your address. If you give it that one to a bot, it will use it, and you see it will mean a lot of it. So we need to educate people, and then we invest in security solutions. That's to mitigate generative AI attacks. Monitor training data. That is very important. You cannot talk about AI if you don't talk about data. What type of data are you using to train it? And then we're keeping our security systems up to date. That is a normal security thing. Your antivirus, of course, your operating system, you should also update it. You should use a genuine operating system. I know most Kenyans don't use that one, but this is one of the most important things, is that you should use an updated operating systems. And I'm almost done. Future trends, of course, we want to see how we want to present in future. We want to have most widespread adoption. That is the way. Actually, we can't, where we have reached now, there's no way you can say that we want to do without generative AI and in the future, because as much people are talking about coming with the artificial general intelligence, that's an AI which is equivalent to a human being, thinking like a human being, but we have not reached that stage. But that's where we're heading to. So, because this is in mind, we have to use integration. We have to know that AI is everywhere, from education, health, agriculture, and all the manufacturing. So these are one of the future trends where we can have to see. And one of the recommendations, that one I think we are done, and I will stop there. We just a recap on what Rosemary said, Clarice said, and of course Shannon. Use strong and unique passwords, that we talked about that one. enable. Clarence talked about two-factor authentication, but also we have MFA, multi-factor. You can have multi. Instead of using on the own phone, the other tools you can use. So as you use 2FA factor, we can also use MFA factor to make it more as secure. Then be careful about what you click on. That is a normal cybersecurity practice. And then keep your software up to date. That is very important. And then, of course, use a security solution, which is, of course, I know most Kenyans use Kaspersky, but I know there's some people are talking about in the US that Kaspersky was spying, but I know most these softwares, they have backgrounds, but they have backdoors for that kind of issues. But that does not stop us not from not securing our system. So I think there's if there's another question, I think I reached there, and I'm so thankful for listening to me. I'm sorry for any cap which happened, but I think this is the time I want to take. If there's no anything on the chat, then our presenters Warren can give the closing remark, and then I think we'll be done our training for this year. Maybe you can have another training, but for Cybersecurity Awareness Month, I think thank you so much. And from deep of my heart, I want to thank all the presenters who sacrificed their time to come and prepare and at least give their input on Robotics Society Cybersecurity Awareness Month 2023. Otherwise, I'm welcoming. We can start with any of us, and we cover your closing remark, and I think we'll reach the end of this. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred, for organizing this particular program that is very, very important, very important, and it has just come at the right time, whereby we should be much alert. So the only remark that I will want to put across is that let us be ambassadors even of cybersecurity, so that at the end of the day, people don't see an internet as an enemy, but they see an internet as somewhere whereby it is more helpful. So that is only what I will want to put across. And even those who are watching us, we are pleading with you that you will be our ambassador there, outside there, to encourage people on how to be able to navigate this digital space responsibly. And at the end of the day, we shall all be able to enjoy the internet together without much worries. Otherwise, thank you. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you so much, Clarice, for that input. I think we should, the way you have said, ambassadors, we need to be ambassadors and we should not have to fear these devices. Thank you so much for your attendance. Rosemary, please.
Thank you, Fred. It has been an honor being here. I have learned a lot. I want to believe that there's more to learn from generative AI and cybersecurity. The information ensure that you be a good ambassador and you tell others to tell the others, and you're going to have a safe online environment which we are going to navigate. Let's take advantage of the online landscape. We have seen that it has got the advantages. We should be able to leverage the advantages to ensure that we are getting the best out of the internet. And for the areas that we need to be vigilant, with regards to cybersecurity, we need to be vigilant and we need to learn more to keep abreast with whatever is happening. And we also are requesting probably you should have a session on how we can use generative AI or artificial intelligence in education so that the teachers that are with us can be able to benefit. Otherwise, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed the sessions, and I want to believe that leaving this call a better person than before. Thank you so much, and have a safe month, Cybersecurity Month.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rosemary, for that. And I think that one should not worry, because on December 1st, we are trying to get some partners. We are supposed to have to train on generative AI for education. That is for sure. And before that one, what I was thinking of, I'm going to we collaborate with Shannon, and then we do another training before the end of the month, and that is has to do with the prompt. Because what we found out that most Kenyans and even the US, there's a research which was being done that how many Americans are using ChatGPT, and they found it's only 25. They are talking about millennial guys are the one using ChatGPT. If you talk about General Z, they are not even using it as much. We want to say that it has got more widespread adoption. So we want to get around before 20th. We have another virtual training on how you can use this generative AI tools, ChatGPT, BAD, and the other three, the art. So I think that is something we have to organize, because there's important of that. We should not say generative AI, and most of us maybe have that challenge. And we don't want to be biased to teachers. Of course, we like to say that because most of us here we are teachers, except Sharon, who's an engineer. We are biased. Then saying that anytime we talk about something, we say teachers. But I know teachers everything, because even engineers could not have come were it not for the teachers. So we are the one who start everything for all the professionals. So I think before 20th, as you have suggested, we should have a training for prompt technique, how you prompt a chatbot to give you that information. And also we also talk about there's a UNESCO framework and on how to use usage of generative AI tools. And then we'll wrap it again on December. Now that will be a face-to-face. It will be hybrid, face-to-face. It will be at the American space at my university. We are so much grateful for them giving us the space and the facilities. Actually, like now, if you look at behind, is where I am now. I'm at the American space. And we hope so that we'll be collaborating more with them, because there's a previous we have collaborated with them, and hopefully that we shall be working with them. We are so grateful to what they have done to us. So I think on December, so you come out to asubuhi, it will be 9:30 up to 1:30. That's the time they are giving us. But I think after that, these two trainings will be somewhere. So nobody will scare you about what is generative AI. So thank you so much, and be the ambassadors, as you have said. So those trainings are coming, that's for sure. So this time I take this opportunity to welcome Shannon to give a final word and a wrap up before we close. Shannon, welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Fred. Thank you everyone else also for joining. So I think for me, my final remarks would just be to continuously learn, continuously just be updated on what is happening within the AI space. You really have to be on the know for you to be able to know how to best prevent and protect yourself from any threats. So always learn. There are so many things, even using the internet, on just keeping up with the trends, on YouTube, the different, just different channels, articles, blogs. Just keep yourself up to date, and I think with that you'll be able to just be able to protect yourself and your organization, friends, family, or wherever you work. Yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shannon. And I think so you don't have to fear. You have another training, so I don't know. Hope you don't get tired. We are starting the holidays, but as much you don't stop working. I think that's the idea. So I think we should also from today we should be working on one more. Actually, not one, two. I think that's probably two. The one for around the date, but you let me know this time around. You let me know the date which is appropriate, but it should be before 20th of November when we do another virtual for prompt training on generative AI ports. Example, we have said that 3 ChatGPT and BAD. But for today, I'm so grateful. You have done. I think just a recap. What you have done, I don't have much. I don't know what I can say from my heart, because what you have presented is just awesome. And maybe a final request is that if you have an URL link, you're free at Liberty. You just copy and paste it at the comment section. When you're at free, you can just put it on Google Drive and create a URL, and then you can paste it in you can put it in such a way that the security settings should be appropriate, so that they can get the slides for them. I know some of us wanted to get the slides for this one, the resources. So I think when that is free, when you are free, you can just continue, and then For those who didn't are able to manage, you can share the rest which you have done. I think that is so, and also encourage most of them to subscribe so that it's easier for them when there's an event like this one, they get to know. So otherwise, may God bless you, all of you. And I think we were coming at the end of this one. I think we've taken 30 minutes more. I had up to 1 hour, but because of technical challenges, sorry for that. So thank you so much. You are free and liberty to go for now. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.